not going to be boring, is it? That was a very entertaining game. What were your thoughts on it?
I thought we got minimum what we probably deserved. Being nitpicky, I think first half was just that little bit kind of slow and not us. We never used the ball well enough to try and suck them out of their disciplined kind of shape. We never exploited areas enough that we tried to. I think we had little patches of success, and we kind of regrouped at half time and reinforced that message that if we do the things correctly and we add that little bit more, don't know the word, maybe impotence going forward, that just a wee bit more front foot mentality, they'd be there for opportunities. And as I say, the response, nothing to do with me, it's the players, you know, because quickly in the second half you can see a goal for a set piece and you're 2-0 down to a strong level of opposition, but nothing that I say for the side of the pitch or Sinky or Hurts, it's purely on the players. They've dug in and turned it around, and like I said, probably got minimum kind of what they deserved.
I think you've probably seen, you know, what football can be like at times in the past, a team going 2 down early in the second half and it's just sort of kind of ends the game and kills it. The reaction from your players was excellent. You must have been so delighted.
Aye, but again, you take I know it's really early, so it's hard to ignore, but the 2 set pieces, we stressed that it's Dylan's man, and I'm not going to sit and shout at Dylan McDonald for, I think you see his level of commitment. He's a solid performer every week, win, lose or draw, and I can accept that. I said that to him in there, the effort, the application, the kind of desire to defend, and that's the kind of characteristics that I want my players to represent. And as I say, I'm not going to pinpoint something that I think that we can easily improve on. It's not something that requires a lot of work, but he's a young player, and as you say, maybe be a little bit easier to go under or feel sorry for yourself, certainly. But testament to each one of the boys out there, they dug in and problem solved and found a solution to get back into the game.
You did mention just briefly earlier there the kind of upping of the tempo, especially in that second half, and it paid dividends. We looked very dangerous in that second period, and on another day could have won that game.
Aye, I think so. I think that's fair. I think, for maybe as daft as it sounds, I thought we went a wee bit too direct too quickly in the first half. Now the second half would suggest we played a lot more forward passes and stuff, but when a team's in a banky 4, a banky 4 and 5 at times, sometimes you have to suck them out or suck 1 or 2 players out of positions to exploit. And as I say, I just thought even for the back it was almost a little bit too kind of pinpoint. It was a little bit too predictable. It was touch at our feet, and could we find that one in behind, defenders kind of catch on to that and drop off and protect the space. So second half we managed to find a little bit more combination play to then release that pass, and we got real good success. And as I say, it's testament to the boys. I think a special mention to the likes of Craigie and Rhys Strava. I think to come on, they changed the impact of the game. Easy to sit and feel sorry for yourself when you're not playing, and to come on Craigie so early in the game for Kingy, and then Strava to come on and have the impact I think that it did was really, really positive, and that's what I always talk about, the importance of having a good squad.
Early, obviously, but how is Alex King? Is he all right? How do you?
I don't actually know too much. I think he said that it was part of the corner. Somebody had banged into him, and it was like a nerve thing in his glute. He's obviously been nursing a little bit of a niggle just in his hip flexor, but he's managed to play through it. But again, it stresses probably my point that we need to get bodies in. It's you know, we're saying the same message from when we're winning games of football, losing games of football. The application and the quality's there. I don't think we're a million miles away, but getting 2 or 3 additions in key areas of the pitch probably allows you to rotate at certain times, because the last thing we want is to go through a kind of predicament like we did last season with injuries and stuff. So a big thing there. I think if something happens to one of those important members of a team, then it has a domino effect, and everybody else suffers from it. So it is really important. We've stressed that point that the boys do need a bit of help. They need that wee bit of support, even in games, just to mix it up, bring that freshness, enthusiasm, but also tactically when you maybe need to change things up. So the boys put in a hell of a shift, one that I'm maybe a wee bit critical because I expect that as a bare minimum, but like I say, the credit doesn't go to me, it's individuals. As I say, they're the ones that have turned that game around.
And whilst, as you say, you are a wee bit light in certain positions, does it help having that kind of versatility? Because Craig Ross comes on and goes in at right back, Dylan goes to left, they switch in the second half. versatility amongst your playing staff must be really helpful, particularly in positions like this when you're not quite fully beefed up on your squad.
As you say, it's probably a big area that when we recruit and bring players in, we always like to have players who can play a number of positions. We don't expect them to be equally as good in every one. But as you said, circumstances in football can change. You've seen that Kingy gets an injury unexpected. I think, sort of an impact injury, a head knock, something goes down, and you're required to put somebody on. Dino just a bit of match fitness needing to build up and gets a bit tired towards the end. So it is very important players have that understanding, and it's something that I like in a player. I think it's a good trait that you can play a number of positions, and as you said, it's difficult because the players have put in a hell of a shift, and I don't want to overshadow that and come away from that kind of fact. But as you've rightfully touched on, the players need that little bit of support, and as I say, I don't think we're a million miles away. We're not asking for 10, 15 players to go and compete. We know where we're at as a club. We know kind of financially what we can offer, and in terms of the opportunity and stuff like that, it's a big selling point for the club. We don't want to all of a sudden start going away from our model that's been really, really successful, but we want that pathway and that continuity, getting younger players in and having that experience that if they train and they do well, they will be given opportunities at the club, and I think we've been really, really successful at that. But you've seen there today that I think maybe just 1 or 2 wee injuries, and that's always my worry, is 1 or 2 injuries, or wee 2-3 week injuries that are knocks or an illness or something that can just derail 3 or 4 positions, and we don't want to be in that position, because as I say, I think you've seen in that second half the boys, there's certainly a lot of quality in that squad.
Speaking of quality, the second goal in particular, I think the first goal was a cracking ball through from Dean, and a really good finish, but that second goal, you'd have been pleased with that one yourself?
To be fair to Hendo, I'll give him that. He does work on it. I know he's standing there and he'll give me a bit of jip, but again, it's the bits that people don't see. I stress about it all the time, and I laugh and I joke with the boys, but the reason that I'm probably able to score free kicks is because I practiced. You know, when nobody's watching, and 10 minutes every day with a bag of balls, and then when you come into pressure situations, you know, it's easy for Hendo to blow that over the bar, but he gets his technique right, and it's probably a repetition factor that he's been through 100 times in training, just with that pressure element. But as you say, it's a hell of a strike, and I think from probably the area it's at, being so close to get the up and down motion on the ball and beat a big wall and then a big goalkeeper like that was testament to how well he struck it. But as I say, probably deserved in the game, and then the pass for Dino was probably the message that we'd stressed at half time, was could we take less touches and look to play forward a little bit quicker. Just that little split second makes a good run. I don't even think he needs to look for the runner. He puts it in a really good area, and as you say, the pass is sublime. I think it's on Sky Sports if it's Messi and one of these ones, what a pass, and it'll go under the radar, but for me that'll be pass of the season, no doubt.
Brilliant, Rhys, thank you very much.
Cheers.
You. Euan, what's your thoughts on that game? A hard 1 point?
Yeah, it's a good start. You know, 1 point against possibly the favourites to go up. Yeah, you can't ask for, you know, maybe get the 3 points, but being 2-0 down and come back to go 2-all, you know, it's testament to like the character of the young squad, and came back into it and got a point. So we've got to be happy with what we got out of the game.
You personally have started the season really, really well. That's you at 5 goals now, 2 today. You must be really pleased with how you've kicked off your campaign.
Yeah, it's going well so far. You know, in the summer I felt, you know, sort of pinpointed Airdrie as a team, you know, I felt like could get the most out of me. You know, that being goals and assists, and you know, it's shown so far that that's the right decision. You know, it's up to me to keep going and, you know, be hungry to score more goals and get assists and help the team. So no, it's a good start for me.
Especially, like you said yourself, going 2-0 down, the attitude that you and the rest of the team showed to not you know, pack it in, not give that up and feel that there's no way back. You dug yourselves right back into that game, and we could have won that match towards the end. Yeah,
potentially. I think, you know, with the first half, I think as a team we felt we didn't play really how we want to play. We didn't really dictate the game of how, you know, it wasn't like Airdrie's match. We sort of fell into how Ross County wanted to play, which we were quite annoyed as a team. You know, I think we came out the second half on the front foot more, like the Gaffer just said there, playing more forward passes. It's unfortunate we could see 2 set pieces and go 2-0 down, but you know, we just stuck at what we came into the second half to do. and you know it paid off with Dino's great pass, get on end of it, and then you know just having the confidence to hit the free kick and it goes in. You know, we just kept trying to play the way we know we can play because we're confident in that, and you know it's rewarding that it pays off and we get a point from the game knowing that we're playing to how we should be playing.
Yeah, the free kick will get a lot of attention, no doubt, and deservedly so, because it's a cracker. It's always good when the keeper's just a spectator watching it go in. That always makes it look that extra special wee bit. But I think the first goal shouldn't be ignored either, because it's a great pass, but your run is perfectly timed and it's a really good finish from an acute angle.
To be fair, I was actually been talking to Dino about that pass for a couple of weeks. You know, he sees it, that run, that internet run from the wing, and I said to him half time, look for that run, and you know, he got the ball, he looked up, he saw me, played it, and it's a great pass. And to be honest, I'm not really sure how. I thought it was like a slide tackle shot. Sort of just tried to slide, get there, get it on target, and you know, it's going right in the corner. But you know, I guess that sort of proves when you take those chances in games, you play those bit riskier passes in the final third, you get rewarded with it. And I feel like that's what we need to do more, and we'll get more rewards.
As for the free kick, Rhys was talking about it just being a matter of how often you practice that and make sure that your technique's right. So practice makes perfect.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it wasn't perfect, it wasn't right in the top corner. So, but you know, it's always nice when they go in. I think a wee bit more detail. I think yesterday I normally take like 4 steps back from the ball. Or just in the past couple of weeks, I've been changing my technique up quite a lot to try and get one I feel comfortable with. And yesterday I changed it to 3 steps instead of 4, and I was hitting it really well, so I felt really confident. I told the lads, like, I want this free kick, and yeah, I have 3 steps and put it in the net. So now I'm really happy. You know, I'm trying every day, you know, practice. You know, me and Mox have been out there every day this week and last week just for, you know, half an hour to an hour, just hitting shots, different types of shots, because that's what the manager wants. He wants more shots. But the more you shoot, the more chance you got of scoring. So it's good to see it sort of coming off for me, and you know, I think it will set us in good stead if we can all get into that mindset of practicing more with the shooting and taking more shots, and we'll probably score more goals.
Well, it certainly paid off today. Euan, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.